Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into this pretty wild paper.
Right.
It's called the Yiedl Project, and it's basically, well,
I've heard of this one, yeah.
it's like a blueprint for, using AI and blockchain to like completely change how investing works.
Yeah, okay.
So imagine like instead of some Wall Street guy, managing your portfolio,
Right.
it's a whole network of like data scientists all over the world. And they're all competing to make the best AI predictions.
Okay, so like a kind of decentralized
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. A
Mm.
decentralized system where, it's the crowd's intelligence that drives the investment.
That's the core idea behind Yiedl, yeah.
It's a really ambitious idea, right?
Yep.
But I want to like take a step back for a sec
Sure.
before we get into like all the details of how it works. What's the problem they're trying to solve in the first place?
Oh, wrong.
What's wrong with the way we do things now?
Well, they're going after this basic problem
Yeah.
that you see in traditional finance.
Okay.
Economists, they call it the principal agent problem.
Okay. The principal agent problem? That sounds kind of complicated.
It's not really. So think of it like this.
Okay.
You take your car to the mechanic, right?
Yeah.
You're the principal in that situation.
Okay.
And the mechanic's the agent.
Got it.
You trust them to,
Fix it.
yeah, act in your best interest, right?
Yeah.
But there's always this chance
Okay.
that they might, I don't know, say you need some extra repairs that you don't really need
Oh, I see.
just to make more money, right?
To line their own pockets. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so how does that apply to, Wall Street,
What-
to the financial world?
It's the same dynamic, right?
Okay.
You give your money to a fund manager.
Right.
They're your agent.
Okay.
You trust them to invest it wisely.
Yeah.
But their interests,
Mm-hmm.
they aren't always the same as yours.
Right.
They might, I don't know, they might prioritize investments that give them the highest fees,
Oh, I
even
see.
if those aren't actually the best for you.
So it's like my mechanic telling me I need a whole new engine when really all I needed was an oil change.
Exactly.
Right.
And the paper, it actually points to some big examples of this in the crypto world, too.
Oh, yeah. Like,
FTX, Three Arrows Capital.
Right.
But these situations where, there's this lack of transparency and all these conflicts of interest.
Yeah.
And it ends up costing investors a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what Yield's trying to fix.
Yield's trying to, address these issues head on
Okay.
by using decentralization.
So they're trying to, like, cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
The potentially shady middleman.
All right.
And make it so it's really the investors' interests that are like the top priority.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense to me, but how?
So that's the big question.
Right.
How do you actually do that?
Yeah.
And their solution is, well, it's kind of radical.
Oh, right.
Instead of one person or one company managing the investments,
Right.
why not use this decentralized AI-powered system
Okay.
where the manager essentially is the investors?
Okay, so instead of me like trying to figure out the stock market or like decipher these financial reports that I don't understand,
Right.
I just trust the AI.
You trust the system, yeah.
But how would that even work?
So think of it as decentralized vaults instead of these traditional funds.
Decentralized vaults. Okay.
Each vault would focus on a specific set of assets, right?
Okay.
With a bunch of different cryptocurrencies.
So instead of putting all my eggs in one basket, I could pick a vault that, matches my risk tolerance and all of that.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
So you've got these different vaults.
Okay, but where does the AI actually come in?
Right. So imagine this.
Yeah.
There's this whole network of data scientists all over the world.
Okay.
Really smart people. And they're all competing to create the absolute best AI model for managing these vaults.
These vaults. Okay.
It's like a massive competition, right?
Okay.
With really high stakes.
So it's like Wall Street meets what's that singing show?
American Idol.
Yeah, American Idol. But instead of singing, it's,
It's algorithms battling it out.
Yes. Exactly.
And the judges are like, way tougher than Simon Cowell.
Right, because here bad predictions mean, well,
They mean losing actual money.
yeah, so the stakes are high.
That's the beauty of it, though, right?
Okay.
The AIs, they're constantly being evaluated based on how well they
It's like survival of the fittest, but for algorithms.
Exactly. The ones that can't keep up, they get weeded out.
Okay, so we've got all these these AI masterminds, right? all competing, but they're not all going to agree on the best moves.
Right. So how do you combine all that brain power?
Yeah, how do you do that?
That's where the meta model comes in.
The meta model. Okay, and what is that exactly?
Think of it like, imagine an orchestra, right?
Okay.
You've got all these different musicians, each with their own instrument, but you need a conductor to bring it all together.
Right, to make it sound good, to make it into music.
Exactly. And that's what the meta model does.
So the meta model is like the conductor of the AI orchestra.
Right. It takes all the individual AI predictions and combines them into a single unified strategy for the entire vault.
I see, but how does it decide which AI to like listen to?
Right. So remember how I said the data scientists stake their own tokens?
Yeah, they put their money where their mouth is.
Exactly. The meta model, it gives more weight to the AIs that have the most skin in the game.
So the ones with the most to lose, their predictions matter more.
Precisely. They're the ones who are most confident, hopefully, in their AI's abilities.
So the more conviction an AI has, the louder its voice in the orchestra.
Exactly.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get this, but it's complicated.
It's definitely next level stuff.
Yeah, so let's bring it back down to earth for a sec.
Okay.
For an average investor like me, like, why should I care about all this?
What's in it for you, right?
Yeah. What are the benefits?
So the paper talks about several key advantages.
Okay, like what?
First off, transparency.
Okay, so like no more shady backroom deals.
Exactly. Everything is recorded on the blockchain.
So I can actually see what's happening with my money.
Yes. Every decision, every trade, even the fees.
No more hoping my fund manager is doing what they say they are.
Right. It's all right there in the open.
I like that a lot.
And then there's the potential for higher returns.
Okay, but no one can guarantee that, right?
Of course not. No investment is risk-free.
Right?
But the idea is that by using AI and by tapping into this, like collective intelligence, Yiedl could potentially spot those profitable opportunities that, traditional methods might miss.
So it's like having a whole team of supercomputers working for me.
In a way, yeah.
I like the sound of that. But okay, what about the risks?
Right, because there are always risks.
Yeah, like we've all heard the stories about algorithms, going haywire.
Right, going rogue.
Yeah, making bad decisions, costing people tons of money.
You're right to be cautious, and the paper does acknowledge these concerns.
Okay.
While the decentralized setup makes it much harder to hack.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's always a chance of, software bugs.
Right, or just like things that no one could have predicted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They also talk about the importance of, strong governance.
Okay, so there are safeguards in place.
Yeah, they're thinking about these things.
Okay, so it's not foolproof, but it's promising.
Exactly. It's still early days, but the potential is huge.
Yeah. This Yiedl project, it's like a glimpse into the future of finance.
It really is. It's pushing the boundaries.
But I have to be honest, it still sounds a little theoretical to me.
Sure, it's a big idea.
Yeah, like can this actually work in the real world?
Right. Is it just a cool concept, or can we actually build it? That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
The authors, they argue that Yiedl represents a fundamental shift in how we think about investing.
Okay.
They believe it can democratize access to these sophisticated tools.
So instead of it just being for, Wall Street insiders.
Exactly. It could be for anyone with an internet connection.
That's a powerful idea.
Right. Could really level the playing field.
I like that a lot. But let's say for argument's sake, that Yiedl itself, it doesn't work out.
Okay.
Are there other applications for this kind of technology?
Like, could you apply it to other parts of finance?
Yeah, or even beyond finance.
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Because the authors, they hint at a much broader application.
Like what?
Well, imagine AI managing investments in, real estate.
Okay.
Or renewable energy.
Interesting.
Even scientific research.
Wow. So we're talking about, disrupting whole industries here.
It's not just about finance anymore.
Yeah, this is big picture stuff.
It really is. It's about, fundamentally changing how we allocate resources.
Okay, so, instead of relying on, a few powerful people or companies,
Exactly.
we could have algorithms, optimizing everything for the maximum benefit.
For the greater good. But
it's like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's happening now.
The technology is real. The question is, how do we use it?
Right. And that's a big question.
It is.
But okay, let's say for the average person, who's not ready to put all their money into AI-powered investing yet.
Sure, yeah.
What's the main takeaway from all of this?
Well, even if Yiedl itself, never actually gets off the ground, it's a sign of things to come.
Okay, how so?
AI and blockchain, they're already changing the game.
In finance.
Yeah, and beyond.
So it's like, I don't need to be a mechanic
Right.
to know that electric cars are the future.
Exactly.
I don't need to be a Wall Street expert to see that this stuff is important.
It's about understanding the trends, the big picture.
And this Yiedl project, it's definitely part of that big picture.
It's pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
It is.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the nitty-gritty of how these decentralized vaults would work to the huge potential of AI-driven investing.
It's been a wild ride.
It has. So any final thoughts for our listeners before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'd say stay curious.
Okay, stay curious. I like that.
Don't be afraid to, dive into these new ideas.
Yeah, explore.
Ask questions, and imagine what the future could hold.
Because the future of finance, it's going to be here before we know it.
It's already happening.
That's a great point to end on. So stay curious, everyone. And a huge thank you to our expert for guiding us through this.
Happy to be here.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
See you next time.
We'll get you next time.